some more interesting news for old Hair Bear, just as the costs, and this is all about taxpayers and what people are willing to front and what they're willing to put up with. Now, I don't think the public is willing to put up with King Charles giving his son that money. The taxpayers all around the Commonwealth are not willing either, because now we come to the Canada bill. And according to a bombshell report yesterday, Canadian taxpayers, you lucky guys, spent more to protect Prince Harry over 5 years during his visits to Canada than any other internationally protected person over the same period, including Harry's father, King Charles. It's insane. According to the document obtained by CBC News under Canada's Access to Information Law, the RCMP spent at least, because there are still some costs coming down the road, $539,575 to provide security between 2015 and 2020, when Prince Harry traveled to Canada for events like the Invictus Games, and also for his love life when he met and dated his future wife, Meghan Markle. Now, this 539 plus change, $1,000, is way more than the initial $339,000 initially reported. That's why they had to go to the judge, get it all out. Nobody really wants that there. The cost to protect Prince Harry and later his wife accounted for around 10% of the over $5.2 million spent during that period to provide security to more than 100 internationally protected persons who visited Canada. However, the list does not, and this is why we say initial costs, the list doesn't include expenses for other members of the royal family like Princess Anne or Prince Edward, who visited Canada. And by the way, they visited Canada in the same period. They're not on that list, BT dubs, during that period on what were described as private working visits under international conventions. When individuals on the internationally protected person list visit Canada, the RCMP is tasked with assuring their security, regardless of whether the trip is official, for business, or in Harry's case, personal. The costs outlined in the document cover incremental expenses like travel and overtime, but not the basic salaries of police officers, meaning the full cost is always going to be hired. So let's look at where the money went and why. This drives me bonkers. I'm going to read this out because I know the words are a little small on there. All right, so the summary, 2016 and 2017, $105,955 was spent during that year where Prince Harry met Meghan Markle. Met her in July 2016, and the expenses correspond to travel to Toronto while dating, where Meghan was living and filming the drama Suits. They're kind of cute. You want to go somewhere? Don't worry, taxpayers will pay for it. All right, so the next year, 2017 and 18, was the biggest year, where they incurred $364,859 from the taxpayers for security. This is peak security expenditure, where he did major public engagements in Toronto, including the Invictus Games, a WE Day celebration, and a reception for the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award recipients. And of course, that was the year, soon after meeting, like TikTok, 6 months, the couple announced their engagement in November, meaning she also was protected. The next year, 2018 and 19, only $11,800 plus was spent, including $10,586 in costs for Meghan's 3-day visit to Toronto, because she had moved over to England by then, but she wanted to visit her then best friend Jessica Mulroney in August of 2018. They were still talking. So she flies over to Toronto for 3 days and basically costs taxpayers $11,000. But who cares? Ain't her cash, right? 2019 and 2020, 57,000 plus change dollars were spent covering the transition period when the couple decided to step back from royal duties. In January of 2020, remember the Freedom Flight? Leading to the end of their taxpayer-funded RCMP protection. I mean, first of all, no wonder they want it back. That is so much money to pay out of pocket. But also, you guys, this is what Harry has expected his whole life. He just assumes everyone will jump and protect him. And of course, Meghan. I mean, you know, they cost us all a lot of money. And by all, I mean, yes, even the Americans, but the British, can you imagine what the British were spending on them? Millions for them to faff about. I mean, and they wonder why people can't stand them. I mean, especially in the UK, where they still want to be treated like royalty and continually fight for taxpayer-funded protection because, God forbid, they should pay for it. However, the Brits are like, hell no. They're also really annoyed with this entire fight, and it affected their popularity a lot. Now, we do have to say that this YouGov poll, it is for the second quarter of the year, from April through the end of June. Okay, this did just come out. It does not cover their actual visit to the UK. All right, so that is going to be released in the fall, and we'll see how they did. Some local polls in the UK suggested that maybe they got a boost from their visit, which is so bizarre. But let's go through this, because this covers, the second quarter does cover when he lost, a lot of his whining, a lot of his shenanigans, of course, Invictus and their financial weirdness. So YouGov, again, just released this. And Meghan, by the way, has hit an all-time low with an approval rating of 18% and a net score of -43. Now, Harry did somewhat better with a 27% favorable and 58% unfavorable rating. But we gotta point out, guys, this is the UK poll. And this is important. They do a little bit better in the States. They do about 10% better in the States. But the issue is they want to spend more time in the UK, and they are historically unpopular. Now, this week, Harry has hidden away with his security friends on the estate in Montecito, presumably playing nanny and looking after the children. But Meghan, nope, not Meghan. She is out and about. It was a hell of a week in Montecito, Monteshit show, as many of you like to call it. And that is what happened on the days of our Montecito lives this week. And through it all, I made Doug watch it with me. So hold on. He's going to give you some thoughts. Oh, yeah, he's growling because I made him watch it all. He was unhappy with it, weren't you, Turd? He was. But you know what? He knows that it gives me joy. It's my soap opera. And he's a stay-at-home dog. He don't make no bills. So I make him watch it with me. I know. Oh, all right, let's go back to bed. That's what stay-at-home dogs do. They get their belly rubbed, they sleep, they eat, they hunt for treats. All right, you guys, I appreciate you. I thank you. I mean, I really love this community. You guys are the bomba. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the hype. And if you don't like my hair, keep it to yourself. Ha! All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.